sensitive topics that we're touching on today, but a common refrain that I hear from families is, of course, I want the best of the best. I want someone who's talented, a leader, has these traits, is a go-getter. And often at the end of the day, they'll settle for someone who they may know as safe, has character and morals, and we should all have that. That's going to be an integral in anyone that you hire. But they normally don't necessarily get A players, not because they may not be willing to pay, although sometimes that plays into it as well. They simply settle for the safe bet. They don't make a little bit of a reach or a stretch. When you're working with families, do you ever try to change their perspective on that, or you kind of just give them what they want?
Well, it depends on their reasons. If they really said they want the safe bet, I don't think they typically say that in my experience. It's just what happens.
Right.
And there aren't a lot of, you and I've talked about this as well, there are not a lot of disruptors in the family office space. So how do you even find that first one? I know a few that have done some very creative things. It's not common. And it doesn't tend to attract the very best. And what I mean by that is like the people who could go out in industry and want that will tend to do that. I mean, family office is a safer bet. It is more of a longer term perspective. And so it attracts a person who is more oriented to that risk profile and that return, which isn't bad. It's just a different kind of person. So you don't get the really disruptive, creative thinkers in general. Would families, I think it's worth talking about. I don't know. It would be interesting if they really articulate. I think that families value loyalty and integrity very highly. And I think if they thought they could get that plus the creativity, they would want it. I'm just not sure they believe it's out there. And in my own experience, I think it's rare. I do think some of the family members themselves that get involved in running it can have that kind of passion and those degrees of freedom. But hiring someone from the outside to bring that in is tricky because you still have to work within the parameters of the family. So I don't know, I think we have to take that one offline and discuss it further because you're hitting on a very big subject there.
Yeah, that's worthy of its own podcast.
Yes, it is. It is.